The Earth's climate. It is getting hot and wet. Unfortunately, not in a sexy way. Hi, it's me, Greg Shapiro, with this week's climate good news, because not all climate news is bad. Just this week, I spoke at a corporate event for the Dutch water engineering company, Boskalis. Boskalis! Man, Dutch people are good at water engineering. Do you know when the map maker said, God made the Earth, but the Dutch made the Netherlands? Boskalis is what he was talking about. 26% of the Dutch landmass is below sea level. When God gave the country to Dutch people, they were like, I think what you meant was this. And the 26% of land that's under sea level, that's where 60% of Dutch people have chosen to live. Yes, it is very flat. It is good for riding the bikes. And the sea levels are rising. Dutch people are like that cartoon dog in The Room on Fire. They're like, this is fine. Because historically, what do Dutch people do when there's not enough land? They make more land. That's what the windmills were for in the first place. Pumping out all of the water and digging up the dikes and digging and pumping and digging. It sounds very sexy, doesn't it? I put my finger in the dike. But so, Boskalis, I was doing an event for their offshore wind energy division, and they said it's very technical, boring, it's not very sexy for an outsider. I said, the entire Dutch rail system, since 2017, it runs on 100% wind energy. I think that's very sexy. The slogan on the Boskalis website says, we create new horizons, which might be good for people building islands, but I don't know if it's so great for offshore wind. I mean, it's true. These guys are creating new horizons. I think it's lovely. It couldn't be more Dutch. It reminds me of a Piet Mondrian painting. But I understand how these things might not be popular with certain people. There's one person in particular. Donald Trump said, I know windmills very much. If it doesn't blow, you can forget about television that night. And offshore wind, it's like looking through the bars of a prison, and the citizens are the prisoners. So the good news is being in prison is clearly something that he's thinking about. He's visualizing it. I think that's healthy. But yeah, Boskalis spent the whole day talking about monopiles. We need to get them erect quicker. And we need jack-up vessels to erect the monopiles. And they need to dig trenches. Digging trenches, laying that cable, and then filling in the trenches. I said, if you guys don't make it in sustainable energy, you might want to try the porno industry. This is very graphic. Speaking of graphic, I was hosting an event for the launch of the European Sleeper train, this overnight train that's a sustainable alternative to short-haul flights. And they said the founders are very serious, don't make jokes. And so very seriously, I said, we all know that when you have sex in an airplane, it's called the Mile High Club. Why is there no term for having sex in an overnight train? And very seriously, he turned to me and he said, there is a term. It's called the Mile Long Club. Again, pretty sexy. Sounds painful, but yeah, I hope this guy's pulling a train into the tunnel all night long. See, for me, climate news doesn't have to be graphic to be sexy. Just surviving on the planet. That's pretty sexy to me. My neighbor, David, is a professor of climate law here in Amsterdam, and he said, what I do, it's very technical. We set up a clinic with some of my master's students, and they thought of a partnership with an NGO, in this case, Fossil Free. And we came up with a case study where we could take a legal case to a pension fund and force them to divest from fossil fuel. And actually, we did that with ABP, and it worked. ABP, which is the 5th largest pension fund in the world, they divested from fossil fuels and put that money into renewable energy. And some of that money, no doubt, went into creating jobs in the wind energy sector. Or if you will, blowjobs.